who do you think would defend Kathleen Kennedy over the Obi-Wan scripts? You're looking at it. The Mary Sue. This is why I check up on them. Because once in a while, I find some real trash that they write that I could actually engage in and rip apart. Calling for Kathleen Kennedy's head over the Obi-Wan delay is a ridiculous double standard. Double standard. So basically, Kathleen Kennedy takes Star Wars scripts, pisses on them, and then just kind of rubs them against her face and laughs, and that's a double standard? Alright, see what they say. Did you know that if you want to get a script right for a highly anticipated show, so you delay production, Twitter will call for your head? Well, that's what is happening to Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy over the Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars TV series. News broke from the premiere of Birds of Prey, also featuring old Ben himself, Ewan McGregor, that the Obi-Wan series we have all been waiting for had its start date for shooting changed from August to January. That's it. I wrote a piece when the rumor first started to circulate about a cancellation of the series because I'm tired of there being a constant string of takedowns of shows we really want from Disney+. That still stands. I hate this cycle and would rather just have the news that centers around what is actually happening, you know? Like Ewan McGregor simply saying that production was pushed back a few months. Well, he doesn't even think it'll affect the series' launch date. Alright, I hope she's right. What we heard is that it's going to be pushed back a year. And you know what? It's not so much about the timing. It's more about the fact that they're changing it up. I think they're changing it up. I think she saw the scripts and she didn't like them. Why didn't she like them? I can only take one guess, is that she didn't like it being probably led by Ben, or having Ben in the forefront, having Ben the hero. She probably needed to have her own new, diverse characters, and I think this show should be about Ben Kenobi, basically because it's called Obi-Wan, and the story is he's pretty much isolated on a desert planet. Kind of a good reason. Okay, she goes on to say here that The Mandalorian became her favorite property in the franchise, which is, okay, cool. Does she mean better than the old stuff, like the prequels and the original trilogy? Not sure, but alright, fair enough. What's fascinating is the backlash that surfaced on Twitter because of this report. Tweets like the one below took over Twitter and calling the woman a effing whore because she wants to get Obi-Wan and this highly anticipated series right is honestly just the tip of the misogynic iceberg that permeates this fandom. And the tweet is, Kathleen Kennedy is an incompetent effing whore. She doesn't know anything about Star Wars. She's willing, I think that means, to destroy the whole series just for the sake of her feminist agenda. F you, bitch, F you. And she does definitely have an agenda. And she did definitely destroy the franchise to a certain extent. Now, is she an effing W? I mean, that's not exactly what she is, but I don't think she's doing services for the fans, for Star Wars, and I don't like her. At all. I could say moron, a little bit nicer. I think she's stupid, low intelligence, moron, basically. Or she knows what she's doing, and she's like conniving, scheming, and sketchy, something like that, to that extent, you know. And over here, of course, the Mary Sue enjoyed all of the Disney trilogy, so she trusts Kathleen Kennedy. You trust Kathleen Kennedy with the fans, the fan base, the merchandising, the sales. You trust her. Why do you trust her? Because you like Rey and Holdo and Rose, the three worst characters in the trilogy. You could argue Jar Jar's in there someplace for a different reason, I guess. So, what is the moral of this entire mess? It's that we should maybe trust the process. With the exception of my feelings on The Rise of Skywalker, I have trusted and enjoyed every other property under Kathleen Kennedy's jurisdiction. As many have rightfully pointed out, the same people who blame her for every single fault never seem to give her any credit for the good things. What's the good thing? Conspicuously including, in this case, The Mandalorian, a very successful live action. That's under Kathleen Kennedy. That's what's a good thing about Kathleen Kennedy. That's Finoli, Lucas, and Favreau. The reason The Mandalorian was good, that we all know over here, is that Kathleen Kennedy wasn't involved. When you see her face watching them make The Mandalorian, she's like this. And that's what she was thinking. Oh, this show, this is nostalgic show for boys. Oh, this is coming out bad. Oh, she looked like she was thinking that. I'm just taking a guess here, because she said she doesn't have to pander to male fans, so she probably didn't want to with The Mandalorian. And when you do kind of make something like kind of badass, maybe, just maybe with some guys in mind, comes out kind of good. And you got a kick-ass woman in there anyway. Cara Dune was incredible. She fit the part. She's a UFC fighter. She looks tough. She's a badass woman. She saves the Mandalorian. No problem. But actually the problem is Kathleen Kennedy probably had almost zero involvement in any of that. The writing, the creative aspect, the tone of it, none of it. Hollywood is an inherently sexist place, and Kennedy's rise to power has consistently been met with a mix of fans yelling for one reason or another, too much diversity, not enough diversity, has been a constant back and forth, and now nearly 8 years into her presidency at Lucasfilms, I understand what she's doing. Okay, so Hollywood is so sexist that they can't get rid of her, probably because she's a woman. Probably if they fire her because she's a woman, they're going to hear, well, we can't get rid of her because, now we're sexist for firing a woman who just happens to be a person doing a horrible job. If she was a man, I think she'd probably get it worse. I'd probably be more on her than I am now because I'd feel a little bit less obligated to be a gentleman. And I'm a gentleman when it comes to women most of the time. This is an exception. What I don't understand and I don't like is the fact that a perfectly reasonable explanation for a filming pushback has resulted in Kathleen Kennedy being called every sexist thing under the sun. Let's just trust for a little while, shall we? Just wait and see what is happening with the show, and maybe we can stop calling Kennedy a whore because she's doing her job. But she's doing her job absolutely horrendously. How long have we been waiting for the Obi-Wan series? It's not like we just started waiting 2 months ago, 3 months ago. They're like, wait, we don't have it yet. I think I remember hearing about this at the time The Last Jedi was released or something. This has been news for years. I've got a video about this like a year and a half old, going on 2 years old now. It's not like, we just started waiting now. This is old news. This thing should have come out a long time ago. Everyone said pretty much like, I think after The Force Awakens or something, when like Ewan McGregor came to that age where he was just right to play Ben when he was on Tatooine looking after Luke, everyone was like, oh man, this would be great. Let's do this. And now it's like, oh, back. We don't have this yet. They could have been thinking about this the whole time while they were making the 3 garbage, trash fire, whatever you want to say, Disney trilogy movies. And they didn't. They probably thought of it now because they're like, well, we got to kind of try to pull Star Wars back from this train wreck, so let's get Obi-Wan, let's get Ewan McGregor. He's one of our last chances, last hope. But wait, we got to make it for everybody, not for Star Wars fans. That's my guess. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm a little emotional because this is the last thing that I was like, yeah, I would like to see this. I would give this a chance. I don't care about the negativity in this one. Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor, let's see it and then judge it. But, of course, there's little hang-ups and things. We'll see if it gets worse. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I'll make another video and I'll be like, I was wrong. It was no big deal. Show's coming out. Looks good. Sounds good. But you know the deal. Cautiously optimistic. Mostly cautious. I'm doing shout-outs, special thanks, things like that. Do a shout-out. Shout-out to Orange Hat Reviews. Cool guy, and he's got his own channel. I don't give him a shout-outs. I've seen him supporting here before. Thank you, sir. Here's your shout-out. Gonna give a shout-out to this guy here on Twitter. Here's his Twitter account. Crashdown321. He's always retweeting my stuff. Appreciate it, and you get a shout-out. Anyway, that's it for today. You guys let me know what you think down below. Do you like Kathleen Kennedy? Is she doing a good job? Do you think the Obi-Wan show is going to be good? Alright, just typical questions I guess I felt like I had to say, and that's not really what I wanted to say, but maybe please answer them. See you next time.